So friends, hello to everyone. Everything worked out in the best possible way. I warned you about this correction in the previous video. Here we formed an expanding wedge, which had a target in the 100, zero zone, which is exactly where we ended up, and this pattern played out. Thus, we also saw the pattern play out according to the divergence on Binance. That is, on the daily time frame, we had a divergence here with a target of 102,000. In the end, we reached it and even did better. We broke through it and collected most of the liquidity. But as you can see, there is still some liquidity left down here, down to the 98,000 level. Therefore, it's possible that this isn't the end yet. Friends, if you want to receive information from me without interruption, join my trading chat and Telegram channel. Additionally, I'll give you 10 of my most accurate indicators for TradingView and my lesson on divergences. The link to the channels is in the description. It should be noted that right now the price has hit an important support level at 100,000, which is why we're seeing this growth. In other words, there was a previous movement formed, and from that movement, we're now seeing a rebound. Thus, on the 12-hour time frame, a bullish divergence has formed, which looks like this. However, during dumps and pumps, divergences don't work well, so we need confirmation on the 1-hour time frame. In other words, we need confirmatory test of this buyer, meaning this reaction, right? Accordingly, we will need to come back to the 100,000 zone again. Today is Friday, and that's something we also need to take into account. This means that in 2 days, the week will close. And on the weekly time frame, a divergence has already formed with confirmation. If we don't see some strong recovery in Bitcoin by the end of the week, then this divergence will be confirmed. So there are only 3 days left. If the divergence is confirmed, we will see the 75,000 zone. Of course, not immediately, but this divergence will indicate movement in that direction towards 75. On air, the situation, as I already said, is much more environmentally friendly. It's easier for me to navigate with it right now than with Bitcoin, since here we have already confirmed this divergence. But here as well, we still need to close out this week. The fulfillment of this divergence will lead to a move into the $1,500 zone so that we can confirm this buyer. This is a zone for a retest. This means that for Bitcoin as well, we will definitely see a decline to the 92,000 level in order to close the gap. For Ethereum, on the daily time frame, we have broken through the important support level of 2,500. We have consolidated on the daily charts, but it's necessary to see confirmation of the 2,500 level with the close of this week. If everything plays out as it should, then we will move lower into the oversold zone and head towards the next support level at 2,120. Also, closing the week at these levels will confirm the weakening of the bullish momentum on the MACD. That's why it's very important to close the week at these levels. In that case, we will also close on the 2-week time frame. And that would mean a divergence of these moving averages and previously a false bullish signal that appeared here when these moving averages crossed. But a recovery still cannot be ruled out. That's why it's important to keep an eye on the 103.0 level right now. To restore the RSI, we might return to this level. But if we don't break through it and instead see a correction from this level confirming this buyer, then the decline will continue toward the 98.0 level, targeting this liquidity. I also do not rule out a sharp dump because I see abnormal volumes on the weekly time frame, that is these orange candles. The correction will most likely continue until these candles return to normal. Overall, everything is, as I said earlier, if we drop below 98,000, it will mean a decline much lower than 75,000 because that would indicate a bull trap. In other words, this kind of final move is meant to gather all these long traders and then take them down. That's all for today. Friends, thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a like. As always, I wish everyone profits, good luck, and goodbye.